Good afternoon and welcome all of you. This is an extraordinary day for Oakland. It is with a great deal of pride and enthusiasm that I both welcome and introduce the next police chief for the city of Oakland, Chief Anthony Batts, who is presently the police chief of Long Beach. Many of you in this room recall when we talked about going for a national search. We did engage in a national search, and what I said to you was that we would try to find the best that we could find, that we would elicit the involvement and participation of other extraordinary police chiefs, criminologists, and experts in the field to assist us in this effort. And we have done that. You asked what would be the characteristics. I said we wanted an experienced police chief who understood the urban environment. Police Chief Batts meets that requirement. We said we wanted a police chief that is committed to community policing. Chief Batts is not only committed to, but a practicing police chief, utilizing the principles, values, and the model of community policing. I said that we wanted a chief that understood that we could not arrest our way to public safety, that we needed to embrace a comprehensive approach to public safety that dealt with prevention, intervention, enforcement, as well as sustainability. Chief Batts meets that definition. We said that in answer to your questions, that we wanted a police chief that was committed to reform. This police chief is committed to reform. I would note for your edification that when Police Chief Batts became the police chief of Long Beach, that the Long Beach Police Department was under a court decree, as is the city of Oakland. And on his watch, they embraced the reform of the court decree to the point where it was considered by the grand jury as a model for addressing reform. So here's a police chief that is committed to reform and has a demonstrated record of addressing these issues in a very positive and model form. Long Beach is in many ways very similar to Oakland. Long Beach, as is Oakland, is a port city. Long Beach is slightly south of 500,000. We're slightly north of 400,000. So the communities are similar. Many of you heard me say on more than one occasion that the last statistics we saw that Long Beach was purported to be 0.02% more diverse than Oakland. And I said, well, since that falls within the realm of statistical error, when I'm not in Long Beach, I say Oakland is the most diverse. And maybe the new census will validate that. But the point is that they're very similar communities. So Police Chief Batts comes from and has served a very diverse community. Factually, on his watch, they brought the crime rate down to its lowest since 1975. That's very impressive. And our city, as well, is driving down crime. As you recall, in January, at our State of the City address, I challenged all of us to embrace a goal of reducing our crime rate by 10%. We are now fluctuating in the neighborhood of 15% reduction and around 25% or so reduction in homicides. And so here's a police chief with a record of moving in that regard. Many of you recall the community response to the BART shooting, and whenever there's a shooting that involves a police officer, that is a point of concern, interest, and sometimes tension in our community. on Police Chief Batt's watch, they reduced officer-involved shootings in Long Beach by 70%. That's major. So, because of his experience, he went from a patrolman to a police chief in about a 27-year period.
Yes, sir. 20 years.
20-year period, which demonstrates his obvious capabilities, doing his job at each level with brilliance and extraordinary capability. So based on experience, based on his brilliance, based on his strategic awareness, based on his education, if you look at his curriculum, his resume, he's had extraordinary training, specialized training, and he holds a doctorate in public administration. So this is a very learned and scholarly person who is brilliant, competent, and capable, who has the respect of his fellow police officers in Long Beach, and respect for the community. So this is a good day for Oakland. As you know, we have built on a number of efforts in Oakland. We have viewed public safety as due north, as a major priority, that we view public safety as a comprehensive effort that must engage the community. On our watch, we've divided Oakland into 3 public safety districts. We've embraced the principles of geographic accountability. We deploy our police force in a manner that we believe to be efficient and effective. In the court findings, the court gave back our management rights. As many of you recall, I said, let the police chief be the chief. Now the chief can be the chief, and Chief Batts will be able to be the chief, allowing him to make management decisions as any other police chief does. Our Measure Y programs are moving forward. Our street outreach workers are moving forward. Our approach to the stimulus has been to connect all the dots so that we embrace this idea that public safety is at the core of what we do, but it has an economic development dimension, education dimension, health dimension, poverty dimension, right across the board. So all of these factors Chief Batts embraces. So I am very proud and very pleased and very enthusiastic about making this announcement and presenting the next police chief for the city of Oakland, Chief Tony Batts.